Namaste. Welcome to Madhurikim Paramagal. It's been a great pleasure and happiness to be the part of Madhurikim Paramagal. I sincerely, from bottom of my heart, thank my friend Shruti and Srihari for welcoming to this channel. It's been a great opportunity to share a valuable information regarding the Carnatic musician Sri OMV Namboodirippad. He has been a great legend in his spirit. We are very much blessed to have him and inform about his valuable information in our channel. With no more delays, let's move on to the video. This is the legendary voice of Sri Olapamanna Namboodirippad. A boy belonging to a partition Brahmin family in central Kerala was fascinated by the vast expanse of carnatic music. A few decades ago, Vasudevan was born to aristocratic parents of Olapamanna Mana. Turning to music was more with him than passion in the eyes of elders around him. Olapamanna Bhagavatar was the title jokingly awarded to him by those around him. OMV devoted his life to the cause of carnatic music without being influenced by fame or wealth. Staying away from professional stages, OMV, the great musician, had seldom drawn accolades from the public. Now we hear from his younger brother, Sri OM Anujan Bhattathirippad. In his Mana, Kathakali was the usual entertainment viewed by all members of the family. OMV was the only person who had keen interest into the music of Kathakali. Besides knowing the basic or knowledge of Carnatic music and Kathakali music, he used to compare each. Without going to regular schooling, he was able to read and understand huge volume of English, Hindi and Malayalam literature. Besides literature, he had a great talent in drawing too. His brother adds that if he had more interaction with the world, he would be a well-known person more than what he was. Among students and enthusiastic of Carnatic music, OMV was the embodiment of music itself. Looking back at the tradition of Olapamanna Mana, Carnatic music had attained pride of place among traditional art forms of Kerala, like Kathakali and Tayambaga. Chembai in Palakkad has been blessed by the presence of stalwarts of Carnatic music, who also performed at Olapamanna. More than a century, tradition at Olapamanna has the fame of luminaries of Carnatic music from Tamil Nadu visiting and performing during annual festival seasons and Onam. Chembai Vaidyanatha Bhagavatar and his ancestors performed regularly at Olapamanna. OMV was attracted to the world of music by this exposure during his childhood. Dr. Vellineri Subramaniam, a well-known Carnatic musician, had a valuable memory about OMV. During his childhood, he had an opportunity to sing a kirtana in front of OMV. His father informed him that he was a well-known legend in Carnatic music. Being to a long way into Carnatic music, now Sri Vellineri Subramaniam, when observed the bits of kirtana rendered by OMV, had a great depth of knowledge as Chembai or Shammagudi. Olapamanna was home to many literary activities, where a magazine, Sahiti, was also published. OM Anujan and OMC brothers of OMV were interested in literature and Vedic studies. Vasudevan was initiated to Carnatic music by Vaidyanath Bhagavatar, who stayed at Olapamanna. Vasudevan stayed for about 5 years at Chembai to continue his studies. In the next more than 2 decades, Vasudevan, as a disciplined primer, travelled across India and performed with Chembai Bhagavatar. Indira Bhattathirippad, his elder daughter, shares that their family was a complete musical world. She remembers that her father used to spend his free time by drawing and singing. He never gave a publicity for his work. All his performance was truly for his self satisfaction than obtaining publicity. Fortunate to have inherited the legacy of Chambai, Vasudevan performed at hundreds of venues with him. True to his belief that music was not for material gains, Vasudevan politely refused to share or accept rewards from Chambai. At our present time, when music is sold for gain, such an attitude is hard to believe. Vasudevan believed in the spirituality of music and imbibed modern ideology as well. He envisioned music as God, who is worshipped by singing. Under the guise of looking after his ancestral properties, Vasudevan settled at Olapamana when he was 45.
നമസ്കാരം. ഞാൻ
C.
സി
Krishna
കൃഷ്ണകുമാർ,
Kumar, program
ആകാശവാണിയിലെ
executive
പ്രോഗ്രാം
working in
എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ
Akashvani,
ഇടുക്കി
who got
ജില്ലയിലെ
an auspicious
മൂന്നാറിനടുത്തുള്ള
opportunity to learn
ദേവികുളം
music from
നിലയത്തിലാണ്.
ONV for
5
5
വർഷത്തോളം
years.
അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് കീഴിൽ
He shares about his
സംഗീതാഭ്യസനം
learning
നടത്താനുള്ള
memories
ഭാഗ്യമുണ്ട്.
that OMV never
അവരവർക്ക്
compromised with
വരുന്ന
his
രീതിയിൽ
students.
പാടിയിരുന്ന
Even now,
നിരവധി
he
ശിഷ്യർ
remembers all the
ഭാഗവതർക്ക്
kirtana
ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു അത്രേ.
taught by his guru.
പക്ഷേ
His life, their own, was devoted for imparting knowledge of Carnatic music to the next generation. In the next 20 years, during his stay at Olapamana, more than 100 youngsters learned Carnatic music from him. Music was the only topic for OMV. Chambai, R.K. Srigandan, Omayalpuram Shivaraman, and Chandrasekhar are some of the prominent musicians with whom ONV interacted regularly. In 1974, Chembai Vaidyanath Bhagavatar performed at Purikunda Temple at Olapamana as part of regular music festival. He had plans to leave for Chennai the next day. After his performance at the temple, Chambai passed away unexpectedly. OMV was deeply moved by the incident. K.S. Vasanthi, OMV's second daughter, shares that their morning view of father as a person who reads around 5 different types of newspaper in English and Malayalam. Another remembrance of her father is regarding the sketches which he had made from beetle cutter or a sharpened pencil. The canvas had a portrait of people working in the farm and garden. She also cherishes the memory of his father with Chambai. He found solace. The great Guru visited him to bless him for one last occasion also. OMV is a Carnatic musician who had music and music alone in life. A man extraordinary that he was. Compositions of Tyagaraja and other great of Carnatic music continued through Chambai and OMV. Rama Ni, he chanted his last breath. Olapamanna Mana, Vasudevan Namboodirippad portrays before us the holistic life of a great man. Sri Edamana Vasudevan Nambudiri, a well known musician and acharya, reveals that from 1986 he studied for 8 years under OMV. During his teaching process, when OMV had a tolerance level with students, he never showed to them. He closes his eyes and stay back. The observation after that would be a great affection for them. He remembered about his guru that during its teaching time, if a visiting guest arrives, he gets disturbed. After the soon returning of the guest, he eagerly continues with the teaching and have the same enthusiasm where they stopped. As we walk to the Santorium of Literature of Music, Kerala, Olapamanna Mana, sound of music being to reverberate in our heart and mind. Narayanan Deshamangalam cherishes his memories of learning from OMV. He has started his learning from OMV after the death of Chambai.
നമസ്കാരം.
Now
ഞാൻ
let's
നെടുമ്പള്ളി ശിവപ്രസാദ്
listen
മുമ്പാലാണ്
to
താമസം. ആദ്യമായി
Shivaprasad
എനിക്ക്
Yanan.
സംഗീതം
He
അഭ്യസിപ്പിച്ചു
is
കൊടുത്ത
also one of the
നമ്പൂതിരിപ്പാട് സാറിന്
famous
എൻ്റെ
students of
പ്രണാമം.
ONV.
എനിക്ക്
He
അദ്ദേഹത്തിനടുത്ത്
too
കുറച്ചു
have
കാലം
many
പഠിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു
valuable
മഹാഭാഗ്യം
memories
എനിക്കുണ്ടായി.
of ONV.
സ്കൂൾ പഠനകാലത്തിന് ശേഷം
His guru
ഏകദേശം
was
ഒരു
very much
കൊല്ലത്തോളം 1.5
strict
കൊല്ലത്തോളം ഞാൻ
about weekly
അദ്ദേഹത്തിനടുത്ത്
classes
സംഗീതം
which was
അഭ്യസിക്കുകയുണ്ടായി.
conducted without
എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയിലും
failure. With waves of music in our ears, we leave behind a great mana that gave birth to many legendary Namboodiris. The visual here showcases an auspicious area. The legendary Chembai used to have his practice in music with this quote. The swinging bed has a rhythm of great musicians' music. Sri Vinod Edamana, relative as well as student of ONV, he explains about the speciality of ONV to recite Kalpanaswara, which is very tough even without losing the beauty. Being a voice to the legendary person is really a blessing for me. It's been a great time explaining and memorizing the valuable information which we had earlier. C. Ramakrishnan. He was a driver of Olapamanna Mana from 1964. His life started in Olapamanna Mana from the age of 10. He had extended his service and work for facilitating food and accommodation for the students of OMV. Much more, he had supported for earnings of the students also. Mr. Ramakrishnan remembers about the Navaratri season where Olapamanna Mana was thickly associated with many musicians when Chambai visited during this period.
എൻ്റെ കുട്ടിക്കാലത്തെ ജീവിതം
Neelakandan Namboodirippad, another son of OMV, has a valuable information between the relationship of Guru and Shishyan.
എൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ധാരാളം
During the conversations between Chambai and OMV, we can find a father-son relationship more than a Guru-Shishyan. As per him, for his father ONV, music is the last and final word. Jalaja, wife of Neelakandan Namboodirippad, has high value for her father-in-law. She says that OMV treats her as a daughter rather than a daughter-in-law. She expresses her gratitude that she could serve the legend. Now we are here to express a new person. This is Parvati OM, granddaughter of OMV, daughter of Neelakandan Namboodirippad and Jalaja. The video, the inspiration, all behind this auspicious legend is done by her. We are very much helped and supported by Parvati OM. She is the person behind the idea and inspiration to showcase the memories of ONV to the current world. She expressed this as a token of love and respect towards her grandfather. Srimati Parvati expresses a gratitude towards Madhurikim Paramagal for releasing such a great video. She also thanks Shruti and Srihari who has been behind this. Hope you all had a great experience by watching this video. Waiting for your valuable suggestions and comments. Please do subscribe the channel and put your valuable comments there. Bye bye.